Want to keep up with the latest Camodo gaming videos? Be sure to subscribe and click that bell. Heading through, now we're going to have a little scene right here. This guy got a little too close to the zombies. So we're going to have like a little a bellhop here. Actually, we're going to have a couple of them. They're going to be having some dinner here. Hello YouTube, Camodo Gaming here, bringing you guys another episode of Tiny Town VR, and yes folks, we are back once again, and we are ready for a new and exciting episode. Now, there has been a major update, and I do say major because, hold on, let's pull it up, we've got two new categories here in Tiny Town. We have military and zombie, and this is a free update. This is pretty awesome. So, if you recall last episode, we were working on this airport disaster, which you guys gave me some great feedback on it, and we will be doing like a part 2 to this, but today is all about the DLC, so let's go ahead and climb our way over here, which by the way, if you missed that episode, I'll flash it in the top right corner. Where are we gonna do the new DLC? Actually, the new DLC is probably worth several things. It is military. And when I say military, I'm talking this is full-blown. We've got troops, we've got like enemy troops, tons of different types. We got vehicles, tanks. This is exciting. So I think we're going to combine the two DLCs in this episode. So a lot of you guys devoted to see a zombie apocalypse. So I think we're going to devote a section of the city to this. Plus, we might do some additional zombie, I would say, not zombie, military things. We'll probably do that eventually too. Maybe we'll have some battles, some troop versus troop opposed to zombies versus troops here. So we're going to be doing this here today, go over the new DLC, set up a little scene. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions for future episodes, new disasters, comment below. Don't forget to vote up in the poll for the next disaster. And if you're enjoying Tiny Town on the channel, maybe hit that thumbs up button. It helps out my channel, and let's do this. Alrighty, so when I was saying this is some major DLC, it's not just people, it's not just vehicles. There is a full-blown new building set for each of these, and all these are like decayed out houses. Let's see, you got like, I think it's all like versions of the normal stuff. Like these are all buildings that were in here, except for they're all like zombified and they look like a post-apocalyptic world. This is actually just so cool, man. This is impressive. Like, this is cool free DLC here. Okay, so we're gonna set up a scene. We're gonna have the zombies versus the military. Now, question is, why are there zombies in the city? We'll eventually need like an origin story. I'll let you guys come up with that. So let me know down in the comments section below, why in the heck are there zombies? I mean, why is there anything going on that happens in the city, since it is Doomsdayville? But there's got to be a reason. So what I'm going to do here for a little bit, I'm going to skip this part. I'm going to put some land down. We're probably going to do... We might do that block. That block's a little close to the tornado. Maybe we'll stick it, maybe half that block, all this block, and scoot back this way. I don't know how much we're actually going to build today, since we're really going to be checking out a lot of the new items. I'm going to let you guys decide what to start placing and what you guys want to see next. Okay, so really where we are, we're right by the airport. We probably, we're gonna stick right here. So, this is where the zombie apocalypse is starting, and stuff's going on. People are gonna have to be running. We're gonna go ahead. I know it's gonna be a little weird to use the decayed buildings, but we have to use them here. Like, this whole world is not gonna be devoted to just post-apocalyptic things, which I think you could possibly do that. But maybe there's some sort of time shift going on, and that's why all these buildings look so, like, withered. And, oh, is this a hospital? That is too cool, man. Alright, let's go ahead and set that over there. Do we have any, like, grass spots that we can just stick in the road to make it look like it's decayed? There was no, like, ground. Like, you have to use the normal town stuff, so there was no, like, new ground pieces, unfortunately. I would have liked to have seen maybe some, like, broken up road and stuff like that. Even, like, check this out. Like, you can really use these. Like, that is a blown-out skyscraper. Wow. Man, I really do think this could be its own city in itself. So maybe, I've got an idea to maybe explain what's going on here behind the scenes. We might put up a wall and quarantine off the zombie zone. and say this part of the city is the older part that's been decaying for a while, and everybody moved over there, and then all those disasters happened. That way we can maybe explain the reason a lot of these buildings are so, like, weathered, and they look just absolutely decayed. I think that's a good idea. So anyway, some of the things that I placed, they had this really, really awesome hospital. So I think this is going to be the focus point of today's episode with the scene. Maybe there's a scientist or somebody got back into the quarantine zone and the army needs to come rescue them. Or maybe a team got stuck out here. I'll let you guys decide. But there's some really cool buildings. Like, check this hotel out, or motel I should say. You've got those, all these damaged buildings. You can actually, can you stick? Oh yeah, you could stick people in these. You can have like snipers shooting zombies and stuff like that. So I think that's the way we're going to approach this. I know there's a lot more buildings that I want to use. Like, I do want to do like a zombie neighborhood, but maybe we'll save that for the next episode. We're going to do like a little downtown area here. So I've got some more stuff I can use. It's like a damaged warehouse. Stick that there. I absolutely love the way this thing looks. Like, this is so cool. Alright, so I guess you could say at like a place where, almost like I guess you'll call it like a rallying point for survivors. It probably would have been the hospital. So they have these little medical tents here. I'm going to stick some of these out here. Make it look like they were overflowing at the hospital. Stick another one there. We'll do that. We need some like fences and stuff. Is that a church? Dude, look at that model. Like, the whole back half of it's gone. I think we need to stick this... We'll stick this on the back side here. Might make a grass area over here. And, oh, I didn't notice the little ambulance over here. That's cool. Alright, so let's keep doing this. What is that? Damaged cooling towers. That could be where the stuff, maybe the outbreak started. There's some nuke stuff. Here we go. Here's some debris. Even though this is a damaged cooling tower, I could probably use this in the road. Like, stick something like that there. That looks pretty good. That doesn't set flush, does it? Okay, it doesn't set flush on something like that, but will it set in the road if I shrink it and, like, go something like that? That looks cool. Alright, that's good. Let's see what else they have here. Alright, here we go. This is what I was looking for. So, I found some barricades here. So, say they were trying to barricade off the hospital area as like a safe zone. Let's go ahead and put these all the way across here. But there was a way in, so we'll go ahead, make like a gate area here. And do we have something? Ooh, these look like they were blown apart, so maybe some sort of accident happened here, and this is how the zombies got in. Check this out, they even have weapons in this pack. This is truly amazing. So the military has some buildings too. Of course, they have your basic like base items, but they do also have damaged buildings too. So you could, in theory, do a war zone or maybe a battle somewhere. Plus, they already had like military jets and stuff like that, so that's pretty awesome. Now, what kind of tanks do we got here? It's gonna be in the city. We'll go ahead and use your standard, your green tanks here. So say the army's gonna be charging through here. We're going to stick a couple tanks. They're going to be blowing apart zombies. It's about to get a bit messy. They got some troop transports coming in here. Let's get a couple of those. Oh, yes, we got the Humvee with the gun on top of it. So we'll get maybe one of those there. We'll have another one that's pulled in over here. Actually, yeah, stick that one a little sideways. Alright, so they have like a little attack going here to try to save some people in the hospital, or save some, we'll call them a VIP. You got this military helicopter up here. This actually looks a little small, does it not? No, I guess it is pretty scaled up. Let's make it a tiny bit bigger. There we go. That one's going to be coming in. Actually, he's going to be coming in from the backside over here. Maybe there'll be some survivors on the roof. Do they have like a troop transport one, like a Huey? No? That would have been cool. Well, actually, there it is. This is going to be the rescue helicopter, so they're going to be landing maybe on top of here, and this is where the survivors are going to be. So you got a ground attack going on, trying to divert some of the zombies away, and then you have the survivors at the top. Now, question is, what kind of vehicle? Oh, you have damaged vehicles. So maybe there was a previous battle happening here when the zombie outbreak kind of happened. I still need to do an outer wall. I got to remind myself to do that. That way we can have this area quarantined off. Like, check this out. Even, like, damaged cars and stuff. Oh, this is an amazing pack. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that this episode. Somebody might have to have a counter. But this stuff's blowing my mind. For free DLC, like, this is quality. Dude, check this out. They have some, like, post-apocalyptic vehicles. So maybe a group of renegade survivors was back here, too. Maybe they're coming back. Actually, they could be fighting with the military, too. Maybe they just want to keep their turf here and keep this portion of the city. So we'll have them pulling in. Pretty sure we'll have some, like, Mad Max characters somewheres. That is ridiculous. Okay, so let's go ahead. We got a bunch of small items in this pack, too. We haven't really gone over many of those. It looks like checkered pieces, dynamite, a lot of survival gear, maps, matches, barrels. Ooh, that looks like some toxic sludge there. We got like a little quarantine sign here. Okay, let's go ahead and stick one of these up. So this is where they were trying to get all the survivors into. Here's some more barricades too. That's good. We'll maybe stick another barrier over here. They're trying to keep vehicles out of the tent zone, so we got some broken apart ones here. We'll line these up all in the streets. Alright, folks, I think we found our city wall. We've got a big gate here. Let's make these bigger. So maybe we'll have the gate. This is where the army came through. And we'll go ahead and block this area off. So we'll go like that. Let's keep going across here. So odd, you have like a bank robbery going on right over there. So we'll keep going. We'll go one more block here, and then we're going to turn the wall. Wow, could you imagine if we had like another like outbreak, like a fresh one happening? We might do that in an episode. Say the zombies have broken a hole in the wall. That could be cool. So we're going to go like... actually stick this one over here. There we go. Alright, I'm going to continue this wall real quick. Alright, got some more cool stuff here. There's some like towers. Say there was like a little survivor camp in the motel too. Looks like it got overrun. Now here was the overgrowth. I was looking for stuff like this, so you could probably stick some of these in the road. Make it look like the grass is finally coming up through here. Let's get another one. Oh, didn't mean to do that. There we go. And we can get over here, put a little over there. Man, this is making everything so detailed. Like, this hasn't taken that long because there's just so much to do here. Playground stuff. That's some good overgrowth. It's actually a junk pile. Maybe we'll stick that on the corner. Actually, stick that in the street there. Alright, so we got all that. Ooh, there's an airplane crash, too. Check that. Whoa, that's big. Wow. I'll have to use that in one of the episodes. Alright, so... I do have the church over here, which I guess we might as well go ahead and detail that since it's going to be in view here. Let's make that one smaller. There is some headstones, and then I think I saw some... here's some of the headstones. Ooh, there's some fresh graves, too. That's kind of creepy. So let's go with headstones there. We're going to mix all these up, so... I'll get a little graveyard built back here. Alright, there we go. We got those. You know, I was never big on the theory that zombies come up out of the ground out of cemeteries. Because to me, I know this is going to sound morbid, those bodies they're decayed. Like, they are not in good shape at all. So, I wouldn't see that happening. That's why I like the kind of virus outbreak zombie scenario, as opposed to the, oh, we just raised out of the grave, because honestly, they're so decayed. How in the heck did they even climb out of the grave? Like, how do they crawl their way out? Never really made sense to me. Alright, so here's your church scene. You've got all the graves back here. The church is all rotted out and collapsed. Pretty cool stuff. So, I don't think I'm going to place too many more buildings here. I think it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. We're going to place some more detail objects. Obviously, we got still a ton of stuff to place here. Is that a broken... What is that? Oh, it's a subway entrance. Do they even have normal subway entrances in the game? I don't recall seeing them. That's cool. Playground stuff. Here's some camps. I thought about putting... I had like a little lawn chair on top of the motel here, so maybe somebody's all camped out up here, trying to just make it through. That's all they're doing now. All right, it is zombie time. So we got a bunch of survivors, but here's your zombies, and check these things out, huh? Let's go to full scale here. Yeah, these things are pretty freaky looking. All right, so really you just got to have them all in the zombie pose here. They are coming after the military. They're attacking people. There's probably not going to be like a bunch of survivors. Or actually, this is like of course, this is a weathered area. A lot of the zombies, they won't be attacking fresh new people. That's why I think we should do an outbreak scene too. That way they're like going into like maybe houses and stuff. Alright, so we have zombies approaching the military down at the end of the street. But little do they know, there's actually a little renegade group coming. Actually, we can use these as survivors. Check those out. Alright, so let's make a little something here. Of course, this bus doesn't care what it hits, so it's going to be hitting a zombie here. Let's go like that. There we go. Actually, you know what? We're going to turn off snapping for this. Turn snapping off. Grab you. It's just getting plowed over. That looks pretty cool. Alright, so I got to keep adding zombies here. I'm going to make this look pretty populated with zombies. Alright, so you can see the zombie horde is approaching military, so let's swap over to them real quick. What do we want to use? Actually, what do we have? We have pilots. Looks like we got... Okay, that's your standard soldier there. Whoa, we got some special forces. Maybe the special forces can be the ones landing on top of the hospital there. So we're going to put normal troops down here. So let's go ahead and get some of these in the gun pose here. Actually, let's check out the guns real quick. I really like the workshop guns that we had downloaded. But let's see what they have to offer here. So, oh man, they have a ton of... So look at the missiles and stuff. We had to have that helicopter's going to be shooting a missile at something. I don't know what yet. Here are your weapons. These don't look bad. I actually kind of like these. Alright, so I'm going to need to get some troops into here. And we're going to have a battle happening. Alright, so you can see the army is charging in. We got people on the guns. You got like a little bit of special forces running in with the normal troops. This guy's like dual wielding Uzis heading through. Now we're going to have a little scene right here. This guy got a little too close to the zombies. So we're going to have like a little a bellhop here. Actually, we're going to have a couple of them. They're going to be having some dinner here. So let's go make them look like there we go. Let's grab one more here. Maybe a fellow soldier. Somebody that was already in this zone. Oh, this is going to be bad. Alright, so they're falling over because they are just having a snack here. There we go. So I suppose we should probably add some zombies that have already been taken out. So we'll stick some in the street here that the military's working on. So we'll do something like that. This is a pretty action-packed scene. So the military's coming through there. Zombies are starting to head over here. We need to head up here. We need to have our spec ops, which I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, so the spec ops, they just landed on the roof. They're getting the VIP. Now, question is, what does the VIP look like? Or maybe it's a scientist or somebody that went into the zone. I need to find that character, though. Actually, I think I got one. Okay, so... one of the very brave generals went behind the lines here with a spec ops team, and they got trapped. So we have another one that's rescuing them. Little they know that this mission, it's actually going pretty bad right now. Alright, so the spec ops team has landed. They're trying to save their poor general, but unfortunately, he has already been, he's being devoured by the zombies here, which this is his old team that he sent into battle. And they're going off with him off the building. So we'll need to have a couple of these. Actually, maybe they got chased up to the roof by some zombies too. That looks like an FBI agent or something. Or maybe just a businessman. So yeah, they're coming up here. Zombies are just following them off. This is actually really cool looking. I'm liking this a lot. Alright, so the Spec Ops team made it just a little bit too late. General's getting pushed off. What does this look like from down here in the action? Oh yeah. Alright, so there's two more things I want to do before we wrap this episode up. If you guys have any ideas for this, let me know down in the comment section below, because this could be a very big area, and we'd have tons of action going on here. So we're going to have some of these like renegade soldiers coming in. We're going to have them... They don't have a position they can mount on. Actually, maybe he's poking out of the bus here. So they're coming in. I need to equip these with a weapon too. Now, they do have some more weapons besides... Or I would say they have some... I guess we'll call them opposing force weapons here in the military pack. Now they have stuff like AKs, looks like RPGs. Maybe this guy's holding an RPG on his shoulder. A little bit closer. There we go. That looks cool. So they're going into battle. Now there's a missile here. So that plane's probably that helicopter's probably shooting these missiles. So we can have a couple missiles mid-flight. Maybe they're trying to clear out the front of the hospital here. There's another one over there. Actually, let's go a little bit like this. Okay, so impact zone. Alright, so maybe we're going to swap a couple things around here. So let's put you here. Let's make this almost like mid-explosion. Let's get some of the workshop explosions, which I really wish that was a thing they had in some of these packs, like these little fireballs. So let me set it up and make it look like there's a missile impact happening here. There we go. So the missiles have fired in. They're hitting something. This car's like getting flung through the air. Pretty sure that sign would be flying too. Alright, so we got that. Got all those. Huh. I guess we could maybe we'll put some of the, call them the renegades. We'll put them up into here. Maybe they're actually fighting too with the military. They don't want anybody in their safe zone. Alright, so we have a couple of them up in the hospital there. This is an action-packed scene. So I guess one more thing I should do. Of course, we will be expanding upon this. One thing I thought of, okay, so the military opened the wall up here at the gate, so we should probably have some military presence, like maybe an additional wall here. Let's turn our snapping back on. So let's get a couple guard towers out real quick. It's actually, oh, I'm really screwing up here, hold on. All right, like I was saying, let's get some guard towers out real quick, and we're gonna fence this area off. Maybe we'll have some tents and stuff out here. So military, they're just guarding this area. Alright, so we have like a little gate checkpoint here in order to get into the zone. You would probably see an additional, like a secondary fence around the wall. That way you can try to keep people from climbing it. But I think for the most part, I think I'm satisfied here today. Let's go ahead and give you guys a little update what we've all done here. Let's turn this, there we go. Oh yeah, we have ourselves a busy zone here. One last thing I want to add real quick, because I said I was going to add it and somebody will point out if I don't. I know we have some military jets, so maybe we'll have a couple of these. Get a couple of these flying over. Is that the one we want to use? Actually, I like this one a little bit better. Let's just get that there. They're going to be making a pass over the zone here, so have them flying in. Actually, we'll have them flying in like that. There we go. Very cool stuff here. But anyways, if you guys have any suggestions for this, comment down below. I do really look forward to seeing the suggestions because this has opened up a whole lot of possibilities. As if Tiny Town didn't already have enough, we've got even more. So let me know your theories about what's happening, maybe how the outbreak started, and maybe we'll do a fresh outbreak too. Maybe they're breaking through the wall somewhere else. But anyways, hope you guys have a great day. Thank you guys for all the love and support on Tiny Town, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you.